Hello friends, I Deepali welcome you all to this YouTube channel of yours, English by Deepali, wherein we all come together to learn the language English. So we try to learn it in our mother tongue, but today we are having a different kind of video, right? Wherein I will be speaking not in our mother tongue, I'll be speaking in the co-weighted English language. So don't worry my friends, you will understand everything because I will be going really slow and I will make sure that you will understand each and every word because I will be very loud and clear with my thoughts. Okay? So I know you all have been trying different techniques to learn this language because you all know that there are lots of opportunities that will be open to you when you learn this language, right? So everybody is trying different techniques. Somebody is sitting in front of their mirror, somebody is standing in front of the mirror throughout the day and speaking aloud, making hand gestures, face movements, and facial expressions and all. Everybody is doing that, right? Some might be reading a lot of newspapers. Some of them might have bought a lot of big books, big dictionaries, as well as big novels which are there kept somewhere in the corner of your house, right? Some of them might be watching a lot of movies, a lot of shows online, right? But nothing is making any sense because you are not improving your English. Why do you think that is happening? Let me tell you, my friend, because you are focusing on wrong things, right? So you are supposed to do all that, but when you get a hang of this language, right, then and then only you will feel confident to learn new concept in this language, right? Whenever you are starting a new thing, what you should do, you should start small, you should start with easy concepts and then you can build up on that. So in school you might have learned few things initially, right? So for example, you might have learned alphabets, right? You also might have learned for Marathi Barakhadi, right? All of you started with very small things and later on you tried to build up on that, and today you are at such a position where you can speak your mother tongue very fluently and with great ease. You don't feel any less of a confidence over there while speaking in your mother tongue because you learned very little things earlier, very small things, very basic things, and then you built up on that slowly and steadily, and today you have reached to the point wherein you can communicate your thoughts very effectively, right? So the same we want to do, or the same you should actually do with the language English, because it is not at all difficult. It's not rocket science, my friend. You all can talk very easily in English language. So today I'll be sharing with you few tips which actually have helped me as well as lots of people around me, which I have given advice to, right? So the first tip over here is you have to actually enjoy the process of learning this language, right? Because what happens is whenever you try to learn a new thing and it gets complicated, we feel little caged, we actually try to avoid that thing. So this should not happen with English, right? So if you are reading a lot of jargon newspapers, if you are watching a lot of movies which are difficult to understand, how are you going to develop interest to learn that language, my friend? Right? So instead, what you have to do, you have to watch the content. Mind this, friend, you have to watch the content, but you have to choose which content you need to watch in the initial stages, right? So you can choose some videos, like audio visuals are there already available on YouTube. You can choose small cartoons. You can also choose books, but which are small story books. So initially you have to start into reading these books. You have to get to the habit of reading this every day at least for 15 minutes, and as long as you can do that. Okay, so this will definitely help you improve the language, right? So after that, after you pass this phase of reading the stories, after you pass this phase of watching small YouTube videos, right, you can then move ahead to watch documentaries. You can then move ahead to watch new shows or maybe podcasts also on YouTube. So this will also help you improve your communication skill, improve your language skill a lot, right? Because it's not at all difficult. We are actually trying to inculcate the habit of listening to the language, repeating that language while reading, while speaking to the other person, and in a way you will definitely turn out to be a great speaker, guaranteed. Okay, now here comes the next point, wherein you have to be very observant while you are listening to any content that is in English, right? So what you have to do, you have to actually pay attention how the other person is speaking, right? If he is happy, how he is emoting that, how his hand gestures are, how are his facial expressions, right? So you have to pay attention to a lots of things, how the body language of the person is while speaking. So with that also you can learn a language, because when we were little, actually we learned the language by observing, by listening a lot, right? And then we tried to speak, we made a lot of mistakes. The persons or the people which are around us, our parents maybe, right? So they corrected us, and then we learned this language that is our mother tongue very efficiently, and today we are at a great stage, right? So this can happen with English as well. You have to try the tips that I'm giving to you today. Okay, now here comes the point of third tip, wherein you have to accept your mistakes. You have to put aside your ego. You have to accept whatever mistakes that you are doing. So there are feedbacks, actually two types of feedbacks that are given to you. One is constructive feedback, and the other one we are not talking about that. That's a negative part. Okay, so that's a negative thing. We don't want to go into that. So the feedback that has been given as a positive feedback, we will be talking about that. So you have to listen to the positive feedback. Like somebody is saying that you are doing great, Deepali, but you can improve somewhere here. You might have used that instead of saying this. So you have to take that advice. You have to practice on that, and then also with that also you can improve your English language, right? Isn't it interesting? By just taking feedbacks from people which are listening to us, we can improve our language to a great extent, right? Okay, here comes the fourth point, and which is the most important one, right? While speaking or while communicating your thought, what is necessary? Tell me. Yes, you must tell the other person what you feel. What are your feelings about certain things, right? So is it necessary that you must use a very complicated language to express all those thoughts? No, not at all. For speaking English, particularly in our day-to-day life, we don't need a fancy words at all. We can speak our thoughts, we can express our thoughts with very simple English language. You must have to have clear thoughts while speaking, then and then only it will be easier for you to put forward, right? So you have to actually leave that practice of translating the Marathi sentence to English one, right? So you can directly clear your thoughts, what you want to express to other person, and try expressing that from this day onwards, right? So it will help you a lot, because on the first day you will find it difficult, on the second day it will be a lot easier, right? Third day, fourth day, if you do it continuously, like I said, you have to practice these tips every day, then and then only you are going to improve. You might be thinking that I will listen to this video and I'm a great speaker after listening to this video. That is not going to happen, my friend. You have to practice on your own, then and then only your language will be improved. Nobody else can give you a pill and you can directly start speaking in English, right? So this is not going to happen with anybody. You have to actually follow these things in your daily routine, and then only you will be a great speaker, right? And the final thing that I want to tell you all is that, friends, don't worry at all, right? It is not a rocket science. It's just another language. We have learned our mother tongue very easily, right? The same way we will be learning this foreign language. It's just a foreign language, not a rocket science. So what you have to do is, you don't need to pay a lot of attention to all these technicalities of the language. For example, you don't need to build a lot of vocabulary at the start itself. You don't need to learn lots and lots of complicated sentence structure that are making you less of any confident, right? So you don't need to go into that part. Also, you don't need to learn a lot of grammar initially itself. You have to actually start speaking few words daily, right? So after few days you will come to a point that I can speak this much, now I can go ahead and I can learn new things. So that is a point, my friend, when you can learn new technicalities of the language, and it will help you to make a confident speaker in English language. I am sure all these tips will help you a lot if you follow these tips religiously, regularly in your daily life, at least for 15 minutes, and as long as you can practice. So it will help you improve your communication skills, your confidence, your language skills. This was the motto of this video, to make a perfect, great communicator, right? I hope this helps you a lot. You follow this religiously, right? जर तुम्हाला हा व्हिडिओ आवडला असेल, असेच आणखीन व्हिडिओज हवे असतील, तर तुम्ही मला कमेंट बॉक्समध्ये नक्की कळवा मित्रांनो. काय होईल जेणेकरून की मला कळेल की तुम्हाला हे व्हिडिओज कसे वाटतायत. जर तुम्हाला व्हिडिओ आवडला असेल तर लाईक नक्की करायचं, जास्तीत जास्त लोकांपर्यंत शेअर करायचंय आणि चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करायला विसरायचं नाहीये. जेणेकरून काय होतं की मलाही मोटिवेशन मिळतं असे नवनवीन व्हिडिओज बनवण्यासाठी, राईट? आणि आपल्या सर्वांचं इंग्रजी सुधारतं. चला तर मग मित्रांनो, भेटूया अशाच एका नवीन व्हिडिओमध्ये. टिल देन टेक केअर, बाय बाय.